What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's discuss Survivor Series predictions. Survivor Series takes place on Saturday, November the 30th, 2024, from Vancouver, British Columbia, which is great. So we are in Canada. That's excellent. Good stuff. For right now, looking at the card, there's only 5 matches. And we all know that Smackdown is taped. So there's a possibility that we could get a 6th match, but I highly doubt it. Simply because the War Games matches are going to be probably about an hour and some change apiece, which you really don't need but one War Games match. I really don't understand why Triple H insists on doing 2 War Games matches. You don't need that, especially for the women. You could just do a traditional 5-on-5 elimination match for the women, and that would suffice, in my humble opinion. So the venue is Rogers Arena. I don't know how many the venue seats. They probably booked maybe a 15,000 arena. So everything should be sold out. I am excited for Survivor Series. I am. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said before, 5 matches on the card. Let's go ahead and start with Gunther versus Damian Priest. Because if I'm booking this show, that will be my first match. So, Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, Gunther's going to win. There's no heat in this match at all. This is ice cold. Gunther has been playing the cowardly heel as of late, which is good. But this, in all honesty, in all seriousness, feels like a match that would literally take place on a random episode of Monday Night Raw as the main event. That's exactly what this thing feels like to me. It just feels like that. Because once Gunther wins, and he will, what's next for him? What does he do at Saturday night's main event? What does he do there? Is he going to have a confrontation with Goldberg? So maybe Goldberg shows up at Survivor Series maybe and has a stare down with him, with Gunther. I think that would be great. That would be good. I don't know. We have to wait and see. And I just feel like Gunther has had a kind of a lame reign as world champion. I think going into WrestleMania season next year that Triple H should take the title off of Gunther. I know that would piss some fans off, but as we get closer to the Raw going to Netflix in January of next year, they really need to have all hands on deck. The World Championship needs to be taken seriously. So maybe Gunther will lose, I would probably say, around the Royal Rumble. So maybe he'll keep it till then. But I don't see him going into WrestleMania 41 as champion. I just don't. I really don't. But I don't care about Gunther versus Damian Priest at all. So Gunther will retain his World Heavyweight Championship. Moving on, LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. This match is just there just to be there. I'm glad that it's going to be defended on pay-per-view. That's good. Who wins? Obviously, LA Knight's going to win. I don't know. You could also get away with Nakamura winning, but Nakamura probably is not going to win. You could move LA Knight up the card. I think he's ready for it. But I don't know. And is this going to be a feud, or is this going to be a one-and-done type of deal with Nakamura and LA Knight? I don't know. But LA Knight more than likely will retain his championship. Why wouldn't he? There's no heat with this at all either. None whatsoever. Just because Nakamura attacked LA Knight, that doesn't mean jack shit. So, what's done is done in that regard. Moving on, the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Braun Breaker's obviously going to retain. Who eats the pin here? Probably Sheamus. And maybe Sheamus and Ludwig will continue their feud, I guess, after this. What do you do with Braun Breaker going forward? Is he going to defend the title? Is he going to defend the title at Saturday Night's Main Event in December, on December 14th? We don't know. So, I don't know. Braun Breaker needs to be in a feud. He needs a feud after this. He needs an actual, legit, one-on-one feud with somebody that, is believable, that he can feud with, have 3 matches with. Have it start at Saturday Night's Main Event. Continue that into maybe the Raw on Netflix, and then maybe the feud ends at the Royal Rumble. And I don't know who that would be against. I don't know. I really don't know. It's not going to be Sheamus, and it's not going to be Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know who you could put in that position. I really don't. Not off the top of my head. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on. Women's War Games. So, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. Who wins? Probably Team Bianca / Team Rhea. They're going to win. Does any of this matter? No, it doesn't. Again, I don't understand why Triple H insists on doing 2 War Games matches. It's fucking stupid. It really is dumb. Why? Why do we need to have a second War Games? It's not needed. It's not. You can literally get away with this by doing a 5-on-5 elimination match, and this would suffice. I just don't understand it. I just don't. And like I say, I don't care who wins, But I'm pretty sure the baby faces, they're going to win for sure. That makes the most sense. I wish there was a 6th match, and there should be. If I was booking it and I had the pen and the power, I would probably put on this card as a 6th match. The Final Testament versus the Wyatt Six. I think that would be great. You could put that as a 5-on-5. No, well, actually a 4-on-4 elimination elimination match. You could do that. Traditional Survivor Series match. You could do that. That would be cool. So, there's that. Main event of the evening. Men's War Games. Which is Bloodline versus Bloodline. the Civil War. So the OG bloodline, which features Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and one CM Punk, along with Paul Heyman as manager, versus the 2.0 bloodline in Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tama Loa, and Bronson Reed. Who wins? Probably the heel bloodline. I think that would make the most sense. I do think that The Rock will show up and he'll get involved, but I also think that Seth Rollins will show up as well. I think that Seth Rollins may show up in the middle of the match and take out Punk and beat the crap out of him, so that way they can begin their feud at going into WrestleMania season next year. So I could see that happening for sure. That makes the most sense. And then you have The Rock come in. Maybe he does like a rock bottom to Roman Reigns and solo pins Roman. So that would make sense as well. So that's what they might do. I'm pretty sure you definitely are going to see Seth Rollins on the show, and we are going to see The Rock on the show. That makes perfect sense. And both of those scenarios are quite plausible. They really are. Seth Rollins not being on the bloodline, the OG bloodline, it makes sense. So this is a perfect recipe for him to show up, beat the shit out of CM Punk, so that way they can start their feud. And I do expect for their feud to involve the World Heavyweight Championship going into WrestleMania 41. And that's probably what they're going to do match-wise. So that does make the most sense. But what does Drew McIntyre do? He's been out for a while. Does Drew McIntyre show up here? But Drew McIntyre, he's already feuded with CM Punk, but do you put him in the mid-card, or do you maybe put him on Smackdown? And I think that would make good sense, if we're being honest. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. Survivor Series should be fun. Hopefully we get some surprises. Maybe we see Becky Lynch return. Maybe we see Charlotte Flair return. Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't do all those returns at once. I wouldn't bring Becky back until the Rumble next year. If you want to bring Charlotte in and the Women's War Games match, you could do that. That would make sense. So there's that. I'm gonna go over my predictions one more time. So LA Knight is going to retain his United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. Braun Breaker is going to defeat Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser to retain his Intercontinental Championship. So Sheamus will be eating the L on that one. The Women's War Games, the babyfaces will win. So Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley, they'll win. Gunther will defeat Damian Priest and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And the heel bloodline, the Bloodline 2.0, they will win via the help of Seth Rollins and The Rock both getting involved. So they will defeat the OG bloodline. But what are you guys' predictions for Survivor Series? And are you guys excited for Survivor Series? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.